Alright, let's start with the obvious question. Why does John Galliano get a Met Gala retrospective? I mean, this isn't some obscure designer we're talking about. This is the guy who went from being fashion's golden boy to being exiled for a tabloid scandal that felt ripped out of a Shakespearean tragedy. And yet, here we are with the Met, the most prestigious fashion institution on the planet, handing him a mic to scream into the void again. What does that say about redemption? Or better yet, what does it say about how fashion decides who gets to come back from the brink? Let's unpack this. Galliano's career trajectory reads like a telenovela. He explodes onto the scene in the 80s with these hyperfeminine, historically obsessive designs that feel like they're pulled from a Renaissance painting. Then he gets handed the keys to Dior, a brand that, at the time, needed a spark to drag it into the 21st century. He does that whole rock star designer thing to perfection, 15 years of shows that felt like operas, clothes that made people feel something. But then the fall. The 2011 scandal where he spews racist rants in a Paris bar. It's a moment that should have ended anyone's career. And yet, fashion is weirdly forgiving when genius is involved. What fascinates me here is the duality. On one hand, you've got this industry that claims to value artistry above all else. On the other, it's run by luxury conglomerates that care more about quarterly profits than moral purity. So when Galliano resurfaces at Margiela, helmed by that enigmatic creative collective, it's not just a comeback. It's a masterclass in how fashion rewrites its own rules. His Margiela work, especially that 2024 collection, wasn't just couture, it was couture as performance art. Every stitch felt like a middle finger to the idea that creativity dies with age or scandal. But here's where it gets messy. The Met's choosing him for only the third living designer retrospective. That's a statement. It's saying, yes, we acknowledge the art, but we're also choosing to reframe the narrative. And that raises a deeper question. At what point does the art eclipse the artist? Yves Saint Laurent got a retrospective in '83, but he wasn't exactly controversy-free. Rei Kawakubo in 2017 was a safe, avant-garde darling. Galliano. He's the wild card. He forces the fashion world to confront its own hypocrisy. The same industry that blacklisted him is now canonizing him. And then there's the Zara collaboration. Let's not pretend this isn't a flex. Galliano, the high priest of couture, slumming it with fast fashion. Or is it a calculated move to remind everyone that he's still got that streetwise sensibility he built his name on back in the 80s? From my perspective, this isn't just about accessibility, it's about power. He's proving he can play in both worlds, the rarefied strata of Margiela, and the mass-market playground of Inditex. It's almost like he's daring the fashion elite to keep up. But here's my real take, this retrospective isn't just about Galliano. It's a mirror held up to the entire industry. It's asking, what are we willing to forgive for the sake of beauty? And maybe more importantly, who gets to decide what's redemptive? Because let's be real, this isn't just a comeback story. It's a reminder that in fashion, the line between villain and visionary is thinner than a razor's edge. So when you see that Met Gala dress next year dripping in Galliano's signature draping, ask yourself, are you celebrating the clothes, the comeback, or the fact that we're all complicit in letting geniuses off the hook? That's the real show here.